me. My money is for me.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
When I'm in a relationship, I don't believe in spending my money on my man. His money is for me. My money is for me.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
When I'm in a relationship, I don't believe in spending my money on my man. His money is for me. My money is for me.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
When I'm in a relationship, I don't believe in spending my money on my man. His money is for me. My money is for me.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
When I'm in a relationship, I don't believe in.
Yeah, do this. Make me bigger. All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Do a mic check 1 2 1 2. All right, that sounds about right. All right. Welcome to another show. This is Mike Perkins, one half of MVP, one half of Opinions I Like Podcast, one half of Mike and Vince Perkins, and for this here, I am the whole show. Um, you saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. Every now and again, I entertain conversations about what up, though, cousin Lou. By the way, what up, though. What up, also, D Scott. Time ain't been there for a little bit, but what up, though? Every now and again, I entertain, you know, conversations about colorism and fat phobia and featureism and every kind of ism that exists as an explanation for why women are single. And, there's always something that exists as to why women aren't getting picked. And let women tell it these things are uh, they're being conspired against. There's a reason why dark-skinned women aren't, being picked. There's a reason why certain features on women get shunned. It's all slavery. It's every single thing that you can think of. It's all conspiracy. And it got me to thinking um, about men and in this podcast era, and why we don't have we don't necessarily have the same consideration for why it is that we may not get picked. Now, I I don't think that we necessarily need those things. Obviously, I mean, I think that men kind of understand that if you're short, you better be in shape. You better have some money. If you're not in any way, shape, or form paid, then you better hit the gym and you better keep your looks up. You better be laying pipe. You better be doing something. We always know that we kind of got to overcompensate for things, but it got me to thinking, what kind of, you know, things could we invent for men? I mean, black men, but just men in general. Um, so I came up with a few. Um, one that I came up with first was heightism. Heightism, whereas short brothers get discriminated against. Uh, Short brothers get discriminated against. There are a bunch of studies based on women picking for height. You hear a lot of women always call out that they want the guy who's 6 feet tall, 6 feet, you know, 6 feet tall, 6 inches, six pack, you know, six figures rather. I said 6 inches, but at least 6 inches of dangling. You know what I mean? That's what they want. That's what they want. That's what they want. But there's no such thing as heightism. And I was always wondering, like, how would heightism even work? You know what I'm saying? And could we shame women into picking short dudes? Like, he's 5'6", but just because he's 5'6", that don't mean he can't protect you. Or just because he's 5'6", that don't mean that he can't, he's not a good husband or a good man or whatever. And I like a lot of that stuff doesn't really work for us. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like for real, like, and I've always heard this said, like, when you talk about, colorism, futurism, whatever, it seems like everything that a man is attracted to has an ism attached to it. So like I couldn't be attracted to even dark skinned women because, I think that's got to be colorism as well, or I can't be attracted to, you know, certain eyes or nose or whatever because all of that just is it's featureism somehow. Somehow it's featureism. Like for example, the young lady that was in the beginning. Now I'm looking at the young lady in the beginning and you know, I mean she's not traditionally attractive, obviously. She's not traditionally attractive, you know. Um, her skin is sort of, it's blotchy, especially around her lips, which is kind of wild. Um, and she's a little overweight. You know what I mean? You know, um, of course, she's out of her flipping mind. I guess that's a blaring thing that's going on with her. She's out of her flipping mind. She believes that she deserves, on this dating market, she deserves a man that's going to give her his money and let her also keep her money because his money is her money and her money is her money, you know, and that when she doesn't get said things, it's because of probably fat phobia and colorism and darkism, Rashida Schroeder. Um, and it's like when I think about that stuff, it's like you can't, as a man, have any kind of preference beyond, I guess you gotta like fat girls, I guess you gotta like fat women. I guess you gotta like, you know, overweight women. I guess you gotta like, I mean, dark skinned women. Even if you don't like dark skinned women, you know, you gotta like certain features, noses, eyes, whatever, you know. And anytime I see like people talk about colorism, I never hear them talk about colorism relative to anything else um getting picked. But it's always a conspiracy. Like it's always based in slavery, you know. And I mean, like, I don't think that slavery is like obviously slavery is real, mm, but slavery is not like slavery isn't the answer for everything. Like slavery can't be the answer for whether or not people are getting picked, you know, or you know every bit of oppression that and it's really about women, you know, every bit of oppression that women go through. It can't just be they're not getting picked, they're not getting picked. Ageism, that's another one. Ageism, you know, oh yeah, I just want young women because, you get to control them, rule them. It's every bit of excuse in the world for the reason that these women are not getting picked. And nobody ever stops to think that there may be a conspiracy on the other side, as to why certain men don't get picked, ever. Um, but getting back into the heightism, you know, or our version of color, that's where I wanted to start. Our version of colorism, you know. Um, me, I've said it before. Me and my brother are taller, not the tallest. We're not like 7'12" or nothing like that. You know, a lot of times because of you know a height thing or you know um, just being black. Period. You know, you can being profiled for guys. For black men is like a real thing. And I don't think that, like it seems like the darker you are, you know, the profiling seems to be a little bit, you know, rougher. Like I was pulled over one time and the cops were like, those white cops, is what it is. Not nothing, par for the course, regular stuff. And I'm a square dude, you know what I mean? I'm a square dude who got, a square job or a square life, you know what I mean? Um, I don't hang out much and do any of those things. Um, but the cops that pulled me over were, they were shorter, probably like 5'6", 5'7". You know, not very tall cops. Sort of rounded off cops, two rounded cops. Uh, that were white guys, and you know, immediately it's get out the car. You know, no questions really. They asked me, "Do I have any guns or drugs?" I did number square, and I'm being put on. Put your hands on the car, and you know, when I put my hands on the car, they're checking my car for all kinds of drugs and guns and things of that nature. You know, and the one of the cops, I had to let him know like while I was in the neighborhood, I was only in the neighborhood to kind of pick up my kids, but obviously it wasn't there to do nothing illegal. So the cops, while I'm trying to let them know, hey, I'm just over here to pick up my sons. There was another cop that was there, kind of in the background. Um, I'm telling him as well, I'm only over here to get my kids. You know, they're waiting on me. I told them I'm right down the street, 1 second away, and you know, he told me that we'll be out of here in a second. Well, I'll be out of there in a second. So he just got me out of there. And after I, assured him I was a super duper square, they didn't find anything, obviously. And, I went on about my business and they told me the next time that I turn, make sure I use my blinker, which is, which is kind of crazy because, I know I signaled and everything, but, it is what it is. Uh, what up, Joe Allen? But But like when I think about what our version of colorism is, or what men's version of colorism is that it seems like the darker you are, you know, or the more you present as what traditional black people look like, the more aggressive you look. So that it's not a matter of not getting picked because, who cares about being picked when you know, they're picking you, to pull you over or picking you to, you know, to plant something on you. Because that's what I thought that situation was going to be. I thought that they were going to plant something on me. Um, I was very scared in that situation, but never would it ever cross my mind to kind of translate, you know, uh, colorism into a thing where it's only about getting picked or attraction, because the reality of it is that that's a trivial idea considering, how colorism works for black men. You know, you know, I mean, like I say, I wish that the like it's not that I don't believe in colorism. You know what I mean? I just think that people apply it wrong, or they apply it to very trivial things. You know, like it's only applied when a dark skinned girl doesn't get the man that she wants. Of which, to me, that's just like, why you not getting the man that you want is not a social issue. It's not a political issue. It's a nothing issue. You should just knuckle up. Like, you didn't get the guy you wanted. That sucks. You should just knuckle up. Um, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You should just knuckle up. The what was I trying to say? The yeah, the implications with regards to us, and our version of colorism, it's life or death, at times, you know, pretty much life or death, you know, and it just is what it is. You can stand to lose your life behind certain things. You know, should be here. Can't get ass assism. I don't even understand what that is. Uh, Asism. Please explain cafe Puro 504. Please explain that. If you making a joke, I missed it. Let's see here, Alan Stranger. We real life have bigger fish to fry. We're not getting murked. Bigger fish to fry. Like not getting murked by crooked cops. She wanted to worry about fantasy dick. Wow. Yeah. That's really what it is. It's like I want the guy. And look, as far as colorism goes, and I mean it's been stated time and time again, our women are more colorist than we could ever be. The whole colorism thing was really, it was kind of introduced by their liking, like what they like. Because like for example, when you think about how it switched over, it wasn't because of who men liked. It was because of who women liked in the 80s. So it was Wesley Snipes and Michael Jordan. Dudes probably weren't walking around saying, "Ooh, Wesley Snipes and Michael Jordan." Women said, "Ooh, Wesley Snipes and Michael Jordan," and then now it's about dark skinned dudes. You know, their attraction is the thing that made it change, not our attraction. Dudes can only really like. The reason I like, I love being a dude because I'm a dude, but because we're governed by what we can get based on who likes us. So anything you get, you earn. I mean, even if your genetics is up, what I mean, you still only get what you earn. Women don't necessarily get what they earn. You kind of guilt dudes or guilt people into kind of giving you something. You know what I mean? Like with the fat phobia thing, which is a nothing phobia. I mean, nobody's afraid of fat women. That's just dumb. Um, but men not being into overweight women is just like like that's a biological thing. Just normal, you know. It's very normal. You know what I mean? Kind of see that stuff kind of waning, kind of going away. But at the same time, you get people who are still trying to push that agenda. You know, and futurism again is just I don't even get that. You know what I mean? It's like now it's just like it's gonna be good lookingism or or uglyism. Uglyism. Uglyism is the next thing. Hold on. Let me get this here. Cafe. So I was answering the topic question, the phobia or ism, assism, bad joke. Oh yeah, okay, cool. I get it. I thought that you were making a joke. Thought you were making a joke. I mean, bad. I mean, let's classify it a dad joke. How about that? A dad joke. You know what I mean? Not a bad joke, a dad joke. Let's see here. Alan. Uh, when intersectionality, which is my least favorite word of all time, I hate that word. Uh, when intersectionality falls flat, every time we give them the mic to express their concerns, all they can bring up is hair and basically what dudes don't like them. Never about anything productive. Yeah, and that's the thing. The thing is that and what really prompted it is they use those things as a mechanism, to kind of explain why they're not winning on the dating market. And when I've asked women time and time again, because they claim that like we have every podcast is about why women don't pick us, of which, I beg to differ. I think that, what we address a lot of times is culture. We address culture, law, social, society. We address a lot of the um like a lot of the stuff that we talk about can be traced back to some kind of law, some kind of cultural understanding or social understanding. It's never, I'm short and women don't like me. Like that's just not a thing. Nobody, there's no podcasts that exist that are like that. And if they did, dudes would shut that shit down immediately. You know, like we don't have a heightism, we don't have a wageism. It would be dumb. It's like, I make $30,000, but I'm still at like nobody cares. You either knuckle up and get better or you don't. You lose. You know what I'm saying? You know, and yeah, always be Babel. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. I hate the word intersectionality. You know, I think it is a very, very it's one of those words that mean everything and nothing at all. Because if a word means everything, it just means nothing. I mean, I get 50 million definitions of it when women are explaining it, and it's just like this all encompassing thing. Like I was sent a video. I think I could let's see here. Intersectionality is smoke and mirrors that you aren't supposed to be able to decode. Yeah, yeah, and it makes people sound a little smarter than what they are. It's the like as a black woman, you know, um, you know, it's like as a black woman, and then intersectionality, and then you say something about colorism, and by the time you get to the end of it, you're the smartest so and so of all time. It's really just it's I don't know, man. It's not something that we do. I don't think that we could ever get away with it. I think like even back like like Kevin, you know what I'm saying, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. One of the things that he said that, always really stuck out to me is, if you're not working at least 60 hours, you don't get to complain. You get to shut the hell up, you know. And, you know, I mean, I roll with that. I think a man should be productive, you know, and, even some of the, thought leaders or some of the more popular guys, believe in self improvement. They believe in getting in the gym. They believe in working hard. They believe in all of the things that you know, uh, that people kind of think that we don't believe in. When it's clear we do. When it's clear we're about self improving. We're about being the best versions of ourselves. Um, a lot of these uh, colorism and intersectionality people are really like not. They're not getting it. They're not getting that this is not a. I don't know. That's not how the dating market works. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work that way. You know. See here, see here. Facts. I wish I heard that my 60 hours is 60 hours is moving. Yeah, yeah. Even for myself, and he was just saying, and when the way he was saying it was not necessarily 60 hours of actual work, but just 60 hours total of development. To where maybe it's 40, 45 hours of actual work that you get paid for. And then it's 15, hours of development. That could be, you know, um, speech class, that can be school, can be anything, but you need to be putting 60 hours towards something, or you need to be shutting the hell up, you know. And that's a very like any dude who don't rock with that, I don't understand. I don't understand. You know, we all have our burden to bear of being productive, and it's just like the way that women think it now, they don't think it to be. It's because all of those isms, I think that what they do, and I think it's an overarching thing. It 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 kills the consequence for not, you know, competing on the dating market. Like it's like don't compete on the dating market and then complain about what you're not getting on the dating market as a means to get the thing on the dating market. If you ask a woman, what determines a woman's value on the dating market, she's going to say she does. I determine my value on the dating market. And it's like, so then who determines a man's value on the dating market? Because we know that it's not us. We don't determine our value, but a lot of times with women, they want to control their value and our value at the same time. You know, you get the thumbs up, thumbs down us. That's fine. I'm fine with that. But you also get to say that you're a 10 without any kind of merit or anything. Let's see here. Uh, More men are finding that women's complaints are largely baseless and propaganda. Uh, it's beginning to be just background noise now. Yeah, it is, and like I've grown indifferent to it mostly. You know, I mean, it's like I already got the response to it. It's like the like using the Matrix reference. It's like I already know that the bullets are coming, so it's like I kind of know how to navigate the conversation before it even happens. It's like, okay, cool. So even like with the question, it's like a young lady saying, colorism. So that's okay, cool. Colorism is this. I'll accept. I'll accept the whole thing. What is our version of that? And why? And if it's real, we should have a version of it. And it's like we don't have a version of it. Our version of it is knuckle up, and you need to be better. If you're not better, then you suck, and that's it. You need to just be better. Yeah, like a tree falls in the forest with anyone with uh I think you mean no one around. If if a fat girl complains about men, who actually hears it? Nobody. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. You know what I mean? And it's so easy to be relevant. Like the bar has never been low. Or, the bar has never been lower. And a lot of these complaints that you hear women give are really just based on, some concept of they deserve more than what you know, they put out, you know. And you can't, and you can want it if you want, and you can't guilt guys because really, like I say it all the time. It doesn't matter what a woman really thinks on the dating market after 29, really earlier than that. But let's say after 29, after 29, it really doesn't matter what a woman thinks on the dating market. It really matters what men think. So you can believe in colorism, futurism, sexism, the whole nine. You can believe in everything, fat phobia, anything. You can believe in all of it. It doesn't matter if men don't believe it. It doesn't matter if men don't entertain it. You know, it just doesn't matter. All you're doing is, just you're a tree in the forest that falls and nobody hears it. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff is falling on deaf ears. Let's see here. Question: do most black women complaining about black men uh, come black men? Let's see here. Comes because no other group checks for them. Yeah, you know what? Like the last kid picked at the b-ball game, frustration because they don't want us. Yeah, I mean, I think that that's an obvious thing. You know, the not getting picked. Like, I think that they understand that a lot of the stuff that they do, they can kind of only get away with here. with us, and they can't get away with it anywhere else. You know, like I mean, just think of your average black woman, with regards to attitude, tone, whatever. Enough of that stuff would not make it. You won't make it past go in another culture. You won't make it past. I mean, like what? And I don't think. Look, you know, given our women are the most overweight, but given that, I still don't think that our women are the least attractive. I don't think the black women are the least attractive, but it's not really, in my opinion, it's not really a hardware thing. It's a software thing. It's the attitude. It's the temperament. It's you know uh, the willingness to cooperate. You know, um, how friendly they are. Personality, character. It's not really the hardware, it's more of the software. And a lot of times with the software, it's like there's a glitch because, they're not really, you know, finding themselves, partners outside of, here, and it's not out of loyalty, it's just out of, lack of options, you know. Um, so black men are the only ones who suffer because of colorism. Eh, I mean, yeah. What up, though, D Scott? True, we grown. The attitude makes them unattractive. Yeah, yeah, and that's really the main thing. Like I did a stream with Christian Hutchinson just maybe like a day ago. I think it was the day before yesterday. But I did a stream with him, and we were going through um kind of an outing that he invited me to. The Michigan State, not Michigan State, but the Michigan Ohio State game. And when we were looking at the game, we were observing kind of the husbands and wives, the families that were there, and just the whole dynamic was sort of eye opening because a lot of what a black what the average black woman would complain about was there. Everybody understood their role. The women tended to the kids. Uh, you know, the fellas sat and watched the game. You know, the husband, got a beard. Or not the husband got a beard, but the wife got a beard for the husband. The woman at the house was very hospitable. Again, tending to the kids. Everybody was playing their role, and I can't imagine that they felt like slaves or they felt like second class citizens or anything like that. You know, and all of those people were married for a decade plus, and had kids and everything. And, you know, income was up through the roof, and it's like when you think about what it is that that our women tend to complain about, you know, it becomes to where it just again, I'm so indifferent to it a lot of times that I try to find a better way of I try to care and be like, I don't care. I tried. It was close. It was close. I almost gave a fuck. It was crazy. I was this close to giving a fuck. Damn, colorism. And I kind of don't care, and to the point where I don't know. You know, it's always it's just a fun exercise. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been, my brother tells me I just love to debate all the time, and I do. You know, I just think it's fun, especially about stuff you don't care about as an exercise. To see if you just argue the other side. You know, um, you know, but yeah, I just wanted to get on here for like a, what I'm saying, like a quick half. You know what I'm saying? Um, 35 minutes. You know, um, just to share some thoughts. But snap, I'll try to do more lives because I always love doing lives, and you know, try to kick out some more content. Let's do this. For all the people that showed up, this comment was early. I don't know what this was about. RHN Negro project, but shout out you, D Scott, cousin, Lou, Alan Stranger, always showing up. Shout out to Cafe. Let's see here. Oh, and shout out infantry skills. I'm saying, let's see if I have full comments. Hold on. Truly grown. I'll put the bell on. Yes, do put the bell on, man. Make sure you put the bell on. Let's see here. Oh, Jackie. Hey, how's it going there, Jack? We didn't address that rumor that was going on about you that you started. So anytime you want to address that, you can come on the show and address that very rumor that you spread about yourself. Okay? Whenever you want to address it. You know what I mean? But if you can hit those notifications. Yes. Yes. Anytime you want to address it. You know what I mean? But yeah, make sure that you hit the notifications, make sure you hit the likes. Yeah, make sure you hit the likes, make sure you subscribe. The subscribers are going up. I mean, for any content creator that is looking to kind of have like a plan to kind of build your subscriber count, the thing to do is the shorts. You know, yeah, just do the shorts. You know, make sure you're doing shorts. I've been doing that, and stuff has kind of been going up. So, but just continue to support. I appreciate everybody. Jackie Jack for stepping in the building at the last minute. And that's going to be my time. I am Mike Perkins, and I am out.